Welcome back to the Code Will podcast. I am your host, Cody Ryan, along with my co-host, William Rommel. William.
What is going on, guys? I'm fucking Thanos right now. I'm hype as shit.
And I am the best version of Guy Fieri I can possibly be. Look at Will.
For those of you not watching on YouTube, which you really should be for this episode because we're dressed up for this. That was my Infinity Gauntlet making that noise. So if you want to see that, hop on the YouTube, Code Will. All right, you can come see us dressed up as I have a Thanos mask on that I will not be leaving on the entire time. I would die of I just fucking fog up. But right now I have it on, so and I got this gauntlet, baby.
Yeah. And I had the listeners choose what I would wear, and I did my best to cobble together a Guy Fieri look today. I went and bought a mullet wig, and I had to cut it in the back, and then I had to deal with this stuff all day, and then I found all this stuff. And guys, they don't sell bowling shirts anywhere, but he wears flannels all the time. I can show you receipts of Guy Fieri wearing flannels everywhere. So I stand by this outfit. Oh yeah,
I think he killed
it. I have the apron. Come on, let's go, guys. Let's go. And
how good can you really do on 1 day's notice? You know, that's the.
Yeah, I murdered this on 1 day's notice. Let's be frank.
Exactly.
All right. So we're gonna jump right into it. We have a Buzzfeed quiz for Halloween. It is.
Yes, we do.
So it's talking about candy because that's what Halloween is. It's talking about picking between these candies, and we'll tell you what Halloween movie to watch right now. We're not going to watch the Halloween movie, but we want to talk about candy because everybody's got weird takes on candy, including me.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I don't know if I have crazy takes, but I've got a few. And we're now at the point of the video where I am going to put the Thanos mask on the side of me. You'll still be able to see it.
All of the audio listeners just had a collective sigh of relief right now when you said that you were going to move the mask.
I know. All right, but you can still see it. It's like my little buddy, right next to me.
Yeah, it's just.
It's literally. It looks like I'm holding a baby. It's just cut off.
Yeah, a purple baby.
Purple man-child.
Yeah, that's
Thanos baby.
That's how they all go. Thanos baby. All right, so. Our first one here is Skittles versus M&M's. And honestly, it's close, but I don't think it's as close as most people would think. It's M&M's.
Yeah, it's M&M's. I'm very on board with you there.
Yeah, Skittles, honestly, if I eat too much Skittles, I feel like they eventually kind of they're bad for your teeth. They hurt my teeth, guys.
Yeah.
I got sensitive teeth over here.
I think M&Ms are actually criminally underrated. That's my take on M&Ms. I think people sleep on them.
Yes, they're consistent. Nobody ever talks about them as being an S tier candy. And I think quite frankly they're just old reliable right there for you.
Do you have a favorite color? Do you eat them in any order? I eat them in a particular order sometimes, not always.
What order do you eat them in?
Probably. So when I was younger, it would be red, orange, blue, green, yellow. But now I've kind of switched up my favorite colors a little bit. I go red, blue, orange, yellow, green. I go in order of my favorite to least favorite color.
Oh, okay.
So maybe I do that reversed. I don't even know. I might do it reversed, but either way. I can't remember if I eat my favorite first or last, but
yeah. I'm a bit different with that. I do a different system where, so in the beginning of the bag, I don't really care. I'll indiscriminately eat general handfuls or whatever. But as I get down to the wire, I'll eat 2 at a time, and I refuse to eat 2 of the same color at the same time.
Okay.
It's always alternating colors. So I'll parse them out. Let's say I have an odd amount of M&Ms or Skittles, whatever, in my hand. I will pick out the odd number one, eat that, and then I'll go by even numbers from there on.
Okay. I see.
Yeah, big even numbers guy, in case you guys didn't know. But we're going to get on to the next question.
Even numbers on this podcast.
Yes. So it's Reese's, peanut butter cups, and Snickers. God, I think I know what you're gonna pick, and I feel like you're gonna upset me here.
I'm gonna pick Reese's peanut butter cups.
Okay, you came through. That's what I like to hear. Reese's
Okay.
are. Do you say Reese's or Reese's?
Reese's, which is wrong. I'm
Yeah,
fully willing to admit that I say it
yeah,
wrong, and that's okay.
yeah. Dude, it's hard because every time I say it, I'm like, I know that I should be saying Reese's, but in my heart of hearts, I don't want to say Reese's.
What do you say when the pieces? Do you say? Come on, give me the
I
pronunciation, because I'll give you mine.
I don't say it. I just say Reese's. I just say I'm eating Reese's, and then that's it. I don't want to say Pieces. Reese's
Because yeah,
Pieces.
it's quite clearly it should be Reese's Pieces, but I will every time will say Reese's Pieces, which makes no sense. But this is the English language. It's fucked in the first place. I'll do what I want. I don't
Yeah.
care.
It's a create your own adventure story. If we all start saying it, it's just going to change. And we're leading the change here at the Code Will podcast. We are pro Reese's Pieces.
Yes, Snickers are good though. I and have you ever
Snickers,
had a peanut butter Snickers? Peanut butter Snickers are delicious, but
peanut butter Snickers are all right. I don't think they're much of a departure from the regular one, to be honest. I think they're about same rank.
fair enough.
So next this is going to be polarizing. So we have Starburst versus Candy Corn.
Starburst, candy corn are good though.
Yeah. I think the answer is clear that we're going to go Starburst here.
Yeah.
But the candy corn thing is tough because I feel a lot of hate goes to candy corn that isn't necessarily deserved. I feel like it's people just jumping on the bandwagon.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where people like a certain section of people hates it, so then people who don't like to form their own opinions are like, I hate that too, even though they've like never had it.
Exactly. It's cool to hate candy corn. It's cool to be like, nah, that sucks. Like, I don't want to. Like, the thing that people don't talk about enough is how trash Tootsie Rolls are.
Yeah, Tootsie Rolls are really not good.
Who eats Tootsie Rolls? And then the Hubba Bubba, whatever what are those bubblegum things in the wrappers? You know what I'm talking about?
Fuck. Yeah, I do know what you're talking about. I played baseball, dude.
Oh yeah.
Is it? Fuck. I want to say Hubba Bubba.
It's
but
definitely not. It's
that was Double Bubble. Fuck. Okay, yeah. I played baseball, dude. We used to have like massive like cartons of those just sitting in the dugout. I would pound those. Those are delicious for the first 15 seconds. No, they're delicious for the first 15 seconds.
For more than
I
15
agree.
seconds.
Well, yeah, there's nothing like, as I said, you take a couple from the dugout, and then if you're out there for a long inning, you're just gnawing on this tasteless piece of gum out in the field. That was not fun. But when I was running out to the field chewing that gum, I was like, this is incredible. But then it goes away fast. But hey, it is what it is. Not all gum is created equal, right?
Yes. The next one, oh man. It's Sour Patch Kids versus Airheads mini bars, and I gotta say, it's Airheads all the way. If you pick Sour Patch, I don't really know. I've soured on Sour Patch Kids over the years because I found that that pun intended.
I see what you did
there. They are not they're not good. They're not good. I think objectively they're not good.
Sour Patch. We actually had this conversation. What was that? Was that this week? Last week?
A couple weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Recent.
Yeah, Sour Patch Kids watermelon are like one of my favorite candies. So if you were gonna go that, I would like by far go that. But since we're talking normal Sour Patch Kids, I think this is kind of a toss up for me. I think it would depend on my mood, I'll be honest, but I'm actually going to give it to Airheads strictly because I think Airheads are less readily available. I feel like Airheads are around less.
Yeah, which is odd.
Right, so it gives it that feeling, you know what I'm talking about, where it's like, oh, finally, there's an Airhead around. So I'll give it to Airhead.
Yeah. I you know what I always used to love doing with my Airheads? It doesn't make any difference with the taste of them, but it always felt like it did. I would twist them to make them look like as tightly packed and like they were like DNA strands almost. And then I would munch on them. They were like, it would just make them super hard. That would be the only thing they'd do, but it would do, and then it would make my fingers all different colors. But hey, I was there for it. Oh no.
So next up, we've got Lollipops versus Jolly Ranchers.
No
to me,
contest.
this completely depends. It really does.
Wow.
Dude,
Okay.
pass me a root beer lollipop, you can't beat that.
A root beer lollipop. You're not even gonna say like watermelon or raspberry. You're going
I'm
to
gonna say
die
root
on
beer.
the hill of. Oh.
Root beers, I mean watermelon, delicious as well. Like I'm just gonna say, like, root beer lollipops are also found few and far between, and they're fucking delicious.
Very rare. You're right.
But
Oh,
I mean,
man.
and I will say I also am a big fan of Jolly Ranchers. The what are they? The blue raspberry ones to me are goated. Like,
OP.
I was gonna put up
what's
a fight for lollipops here, but I don't even know if I can.
I don't think
will
I
say
think it
I'll
would be
give.
disingenuous.
Well, okay. Here's the thing. My sentiment behind lollipops being, I think, a little underrated stands. I like, especially the root beer lollipop. Tough to beat in terms of
Somewhat
lollipops, in
fair.
my opinion.
Somewhat
But
fair.
overall, if I'm picking, I think we will go Jolly Ranchers, or I will, and I know you are going to. So.
Oh yeah, Jolly Ranchers, because like there's multiple uses for Jolly Ranchers. Like they're just a versatile, delicious, amazing candy that will knock your teeth out, and that's what we're here for. Oh Lord. So we have the differentiation between Hershey's Kisses and Hershey's Nuggets. And where do you stand on this one, Will? I'm kind of torn.
Are we talking about these as individual, like, meaning, because what my argument would be is that to me it'd be very clearly Hershey's Kisses, because let me know when you're putting a Hershey's Nugget on top of a peanut butter cookie. You're not.
That's true.
So I guess I'm wondering if we're talking about because I guess as a, like, just their individual things, as you said, they're pretty even.
Yeah, they're the same chocolate.
However,
Hershey's chocolate, which is not ideal.
you know what? I'm going with Hershey's Kisses because they are easier to pop in one bite. They're like the shape is better for popping in one bite. Hershey's Nuggets are a little cumbersome compared. They're still, taste wise just as good, I'm gonna say. But Hershey's Kisses are a little more convenient. They also have the twirly wrapper thing.
You know what? Okay, I'm big on the twirly wrapper for the aesthetic purpose, but if I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna mow down on some Kisses or Nuggets, like the Hershey's the Kisses wrapper, sometimes you tear that shit up and you can't get through it. You know what I mean? At least for me. With the Hershey's Nuggets, there's no issue with that wrapper. You just take it. It's like an envelope. You just unwrap it, boom, right in. No contest every time. So I'm going Nuggets here, just on wrap alone.
I'm going Kisses. Also, on top of Kisses, you can like do the thing where you're like, "Hey, you want a kiss?" And like people are like, "What?" And then you just toss them a Hershey Kiss, and you completely catch them off guard. Classic joke.
And then you make out.
Yes, then you kiss.
That's how you get the boys. That's how you get the boys.
Yeah.
So we have Butterfingers, and I'm gonna say it Reese's Pieces.
Yeah, I scrolled down a couple minutes ago just to like check like what we got here, and I was like, oh, classic Reese's Pieces are here, perfect.
Of course.
But to me, this is personally very clear to me. I love Butterfingers. They're like a top 3 candy for me. So
yes, bring it in, Will. That's what we like to hear.
I'm huge on Butterfingers.
No
I will. The argument against them, is that they get stuck in your teeth, which can be a little annoying, but it's fucking worth it, dude. They're delicious.
Sometimes you fall on the sword just so you can get that sweet, sweet Butterfinger taste, man.
When I was like 10, they were my favorite candy, like overall. And so on Christmas every year since then, my stepmom has gotten me Butterfingers, and I tell you, I'm not complaining. That's that's the candy that's in my stocking, or like, maybe on Easter when we get like a candy bar or something. Like the Butterfingers, what I'm getting, and I'm not complaining about it whatsoever.
Oh, of course not. And you know what's so funny? If you eat Butterfingers back to back to back, sometimes I haven't even taken the Butterfinger like remnants out of my teeth, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
fine, I have a larger tooth now, and I'm just gonna crunch down on these other Butterfingers with my Butterfinger teeth, and that's how we're gonna continue.
Also, not controversial to say. We'll give it that. There's no
Yeah,
controversy behind the pronunciation.
yeah,
So
exactly.
that's
Yes,
big time.
yes, exactly. Very, very easy to pronounce. All right, so the next one. So I think these are two candies that are dogged on a little bit. I think partially unfairly, partially fairly. Milky Way and Three Musketeers. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go Milky Way here just because of the caramel, because like they're basically the same. They're basically the same
Yeah.
thing.
I'm
I
going
was.
Three Musketeers as well.
Oh, really?
Not as well. What am I saying? I'm going
Yeah.
Three Musketeers actually because of the lack of caramel. I like it,
Oh.
but I prefer the more just straight up chocolate nougat. I also think the name is more fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. Three Musketeers is I fuck with that.
Yeah, I was a big Three Musketeers guy for a long time. So this is actually basically a picture of one is my mom's favorite candy, one's my dad's favorite. For a long time, my mom went Three Musketeers, and my dad's always been a big Milky Way guy. So I've been caught between these two for my whole life, but I'm gonna have to go Milky Way here.
Gotcha. So this is a familiar conundrum for you.
Yes, and the next one is a battle of titans, a
Yeah, I'm
battle of
fucking
absolute
annoyed by this.
gods. So it is Twix versus Kit Kat.
Dude, I'm
Oh
annoyed by this.
Lord. Why did they put the two best ones against each other? Um man, I got to stay true to my heart. I'm going to have to go Kit Kat here.
Me too. Let's fucking go,
Ah,
dude.
let's
We're
go.
agreeing a lot more on this than I thought we would.
Yeah. We're
Yeah,
coasting through this, man.
Kit Kats are like perfect almost. Like
Oh,
they're so good. I mean, and Twix, by us choosing Kit Kat, I would like to throw out there. This is no knock on Twix.
no slight on Twix.
Twix are incredibly good as well. The cookie layer is just it's something else.
Oh my god. Unreal candies here.
Right Twix, left Twix.
Which one are you?
Right Twix because I'm a righty. I think that's my logic there.
I'm going to go left Twix just to disagree with you once today.
All right, fair
Uh,
enough. And
okay, the next
by the
one.
way, we with Kit Kats though, there's no
Yeah.
discussion on which one you like more. It's just straight up good all the time. Ooh,
Yep, there's no
controversial thing I do.
divisiveness. What?
Something that
Oh
I
no.
know this is
Oh
gonna piss you
no,
off, and it's gonna
no.
piss a lot of people off. I often just don't give a fuck, and I'll just bite the Kit Kat. I don't break it.
Oh, often I
Hate
do
me,
it sometimes to feel rebellious. I do it
hate me,
sometimes to go against the social norm.
hate
But
me, listeners.
just
Go ahead.
turn
Whenever
off the
well, no,
podcast.
actually, don't. Please don't hate me. Unless you're gonna hate listen. I just want the numbers to be honest. But that's the so because think about it this way: if you hate me and you listen, I win still. So that's the so yeah. Don't hate me unless you're gonna hate listen, because either way I win. But
Oh, ouch.
moving on.
Okay, sorry. But jealousy is a disease. Get well soon, bitch.
Yeah.
All right. So the next one is oh man, Lemonhead and Hot Tamales.
I
Um,
be honest, I have never had either of these.
okay, I'll make the choice for you. It's Lemonhead, man. Hot tamales are
I would
okay.
say that
You
that's
like
what I would
cinnamon.
choose.
Yeah, I think you're a man that likes cinnamon because you are also somebody that tolerates Fireball, and I'm
Yeah.
not somebody that tolerates Fireball. So yeah, I'm gonna go Lemonheads because this.
I do like
No,
I
oh
like lemon flavor more though in general. So I would
yeah.
say that you're
Okay.
probably
All right.
right though. I'm fuck both
So
of these.
you're so wrong. These are both, I think, B tier candies. It's Almond Joy and Mounds.
Okay. I'm just gonna very quickly get my opinion out of the way. I'm gonna
Right.
choose Mounds strictly because Mounds only has one ingredient that ruins desserts, and Almond Joy has two. Coconut and almonds ruin desserts all the time. So
Okay.
Mounds only has coconut. They don't So,
dude, I might turn off the podcast right now. I can't believe you just said such slanderous things about coconut.
coconut
I
is
need.
not
It's
good.
good. It's
No.
so good. Okay, I will get you an Aussie Lamington that has it's like a little cakey thing with everybody at home Google it, with little cakey thing with chocolate on the outside and then like oh my god, coconut on the outside. It's just OP. You get your fingers gross every time you eat it, but it's fine. It's chocolate. Um so I will say I like the taste of Almond Joy better, but I don't want the almond, so I always pick it off. I know, I don't care. I'm not gonna eat the almond. Um, so I'm
Why
gonna
not
go
just
off
buy
of
a
like,
Mounds?
well, because it's dark chocolate. I prefer milk chocolate. Mounds are
Oh,
good,
okay.
but because
Shit,
of
then I
the
don't know.
yeah,
Now I might have to change my answer.
yeah. I
If
mean, the
Almond
mounds are
Joy
really
were dark
good.
chocolate, if Almond Joy were dark chocolate, they'd have all three things that just make things worse. Coconut's good on non-dessert stuff. Like
Wait,
like coconut breaded stuff, I like that. But no, coconut on desserts is bad almost every time, in my opinion.
I'll prove you
That's
wrong,
going to be
but
controversial. There are going to
I'm
be
gonna go
people that agree
mounds.
with me and people that don't.
Yeah, I'm gonna go mounds on that one. Hardcore. Switch it up. So we have Lifesavers and then we have Sweet Tarts, and I
Sweet
think
tarts.
this really, dude.
Yes, yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
so are you
To me,
are
it's
you
not even close.
including the gummy version of Lifesavers as well?
This picture shows hard candy, so I'm gonna say no.
Okay, all right, that's fine. So I'll make my argument for that. So I want to say third grade teacher, do not remember her name, uh, would keep hard Lifesavers in her room all the time, and she'd give them out as rewards. And I went ham. That was probably the class that I've done the best on in my life because I was motivated solely for sugar. And Lifesavers just kind of have that like intrinsic like little value to me. And
Mm-hmm.
plus nobody is a weirdo with like the culture around sweet tarts where people would like crush them and like do the smoking thing. That's weird. If you did that,
Yeah,
you're
no, it
you're
is.
probably in jail right now if you did that. Like, let's be honest. Your life is probably not going well if you smoke sweet tarts.
And if you are, that would, if you're hearing this, that means you're listening from jail. Tell your cellmates. Like, let them know about the podcast. They might like it too.
Yeah, let we want everybody in jail to be listening to us.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been to jail, so I don't have any idea what it's like. But
Yeah.
seeing as you're in jail and you don't know what it's like right now to live in the outside world, we have your back. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah, big
Inmates,
jail listeners.
yes, inmates of the United States prison system, we're on your side. We're going to give you a
Yeah,
glimpse what the outside world is like.
you guys been done wrong. All right. Well, some of you haven't, but a lot of you have. All right. So going to the next one. So I think this one's easy.
I know your
Milk
answer.
duds, milk duds or York peppermint patties. It's York every day, baby. Oh, I will die on this hill. Nobody else likes York
Thief.
peppermint patties, but oh
Thief.
my god, I go crazy on them.
You're a thief.
Yeah.
You steal them.
I have stolen them in the past. It has happened. This event has happened. Yes, I have stolen. York
It's
peppermint
different though. It's
patties
at work.
before.
Doesn't fucking count.
Yeah, I have.
We don't
So
get
I have
shit as a
eaten.
discount at Market Basket.
Yeah, yeah. So I have eaten mad York peppermint patties on an unnamed company's dime. That's all we'll say. So what's your what's your opinion?
Um, um I gotta say,
Swear to God, if you say milk duds, we're done. We're done.
okay, then I'm not gonna answer this question because I want the podcast to keep going. So we'll
Milk
skip
duds
it.
are trash. Oh my God. Okay, that's fine. So the next one is nerds or Twizzlers. Can I pick neither? Is that an
Ooh,
option?
dude, Twizzlers are good.
Twizzlers are fine, but like they grate on me, man. I can have a couple of them, but they grate on me.
Want to
It's
hear a crazy take?
I
So,
know exactly what you're gonna say, but go ahead.
do you?
Yeah, I think
You
I
know,
think I do.
do you know my roommate Aaron?
Yes.
His favorite like food of all time is Twizzlers.
Yep. You've said that in the chat before. Yep.
Yeah.
That's the sign of a mentally sick man.
To me, Twizzlers are like, there's something that like, if they're there, I will take them and I will enjoy them. However, I will never seek out Twizzlers.
Yeah.
But I still like Twizzlers more than Nerds. And, okay, I will say, I've had they have creamsicle Twizzlers. Those are fucking delicious. Those are so
had those, good. And they're good. I like pushing the cream out the middle.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the best part about it. You just push it right out the middle, and it's not even the flavor for it. Like because it's just a little bit like the texture of the creamy stuff. I don't know about it. It makes me feel wrong. Ooh, okay. So Baby Ruth versus Crunch. We're going boomer foods now.
Crunch bar.
Every day.
100% Crunch bar. Crunch bar.
Yeah.
Another one of those underrated. Yeah, another one of those underrated candies. I feel like they're not as good as M&Ms, but they fall under that category of candy where it's like they're pretty simplistic, but they're highly underrated.
Yeah, 100%.
More doesn't always mean better.
Yes, 100%. When I was younger, actually, and I used to do this paper route with my mom, there was this old guy who used to give us Crunch bars, me and my brothers, as we would drive around. So he would, we'd drop off, and once a week, he'd give us a bunch of Crunch bars. And on Halloween, around Halloween, he gave us, oh my God, a sack of Crunch bars, multiple years in a row. It was awesome. Shout out that man. He is definitely dead, but shout out that lovely, lovely man.
You know, the Bunch of Crunch. Is it called Bunch of Crunch? Bunch of Crunch? Bunch of Crunch? I think it's Bunch of Crunch.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's the candy at the movie theater. It's like a movie theater candy.
Oh.
It's literally balls of Crunch bars. It's
what?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No, I'm not familiar.
Do me a favor, and while I'm talking and explaining what they are, look it up for yourself so you can see what they are, and I'll tell my story behind them. For those of you that do know what I'm talking about, I believe it's Bunch of Crunch, and for whatever reason, when I was younger, yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
For whatever reason, when I was younger, I literally can't tell you why. I think it's because there's a little bit of yellow on the packaging. I literally thought they were banana flavored.
Ew. That's gross.
Yeah, I thought it was a banana candy. So I didn't have a bandana. I didn't even have Bunch of Crunch until I was 15, because that's when I found out that there was a Crunch bar, and I was like, dude, these are fucking insane. And I just very quick sidebar. When you go to the movies, what's your candy? What do you do?
All right, I sneak stuff into the movies. I don't buy the candy. So it depends. So it's pretty much the same candy setup as I always do. I always do get the bucket of popcorn and put a bunch of, butter on it, of course, and all that jazz. But I'll pretty reliably go. I'll get some Haribo Gold Bears. I'll get some Kit Kats. I'll get some Twix, and kind of just whatever I'm fancying at the moment. Sometimes I'll go Twin Snakes, and sometimes I'll go Starburst as well. But it always ends up being too much, and I eat all of it. I give myself stomach pains while I'm sitting there. How about you?
I'm huge on the chocolate chip cookie dough balls. I fuck with those heavy. I always have. So I've always gotten those. That's always been my go-to. I'm big on, again, getting the popcorn. However, movie theater popcorn makes me feel like absolute trash after I eat it. That butter just puts me in a fucking coma. That's just, it's so fucking good though. That's the thing. It's so good.
It's so worth it, man. Everything about it.
Just gives you that that grease film in your throat, but it's worth it, as we've said.
100%. So our next candy in question is Pop Rocks versus Smarties. I'm going to have to go slam dunk on Pop Rocks, man.
I think I'm going to diverge from you and go Smarties. Pop Rocks are more fun. Pop Rocks are more fun.
They're an experience.
However, I think Smarties taste better, personally.
Okay, I have a question. Do you have any memories of you eating Smarties?
Yeah, I believe it or not,
Damn it.
it's nothing crazy. It's not individual, but like when I think of Smarties, I always think of like that was the reward in like elementary school for winning a game or something. It was always Smarties. Like whenever there
That's
was a
fair. It's a
candy
safe
reward
candy.
in school, it was always Smarties. So I associate Smarties with like positive reinforcement when I did good stuff in school. So Smarties, good.
Dude, Pop Rocks are an event. When you have Pop Rocks, it's a fucking party every time. Tell me a time that you've had Pop Rocks and you've been upset or sad,
I
or
I
even
mean,
indifferent.
fair.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fair.
It turns everything
That's
up
fair.
a couple notches. Oh, all right. So this is a movie theater candy that I forgot to bring up. Not the first one, but the second one. So it's between Pez and Junior Mints. I'm a huge
Pez.
Junior Mints guy.
If there's one thing you'll learn about me throughout this podcast, and if you listen continuously, you'll learn a lot of things. But food-wise, I'm not a huge fan of mint chocolate. I don't dislike it. It's like I'll eat it. If someone handed me a York peppermint patty or someone handed me Junior Mints and it was the only candy that was around, I would eat it. But I would much rather someone hand me something else. And in this particular case, the other option is Pez. I'll take Pez, especially because Pez normally come with a fun dispenser that you can collect. You collect Junior Mint boxes, you're a fucking loser. So,
All right, I guess I'll just put my display of Junior Mint stuff away then.
yeah, I feel like a lot of people have that. So if you
Yeah,
do,
my
put
my
that shit away.
collage. Yeah, my collage of Junior Mint boxes. No, Junior Mints are really good, I think. The only problem is they do have a tendency to ruin car seats. So I've gotten my mom a bit more than pissed off a few times because as soon as it like lands on a seat in the car, it smushes everywhere. It's
Really?
disgusting. It's made of gel, dude. It's chocolate and mint gel. It's
Huh.
irremovable from seats. So I'll
Interesting.
have you know that my mom does not like those because of that. Oh man. Okay. So I'm gonna say
This is the final one, by the way. So
yeah, this is
we're
a
on the
slam
brink of
dunk.
finding out what movie we should watch.
It's it's Dots versus Laffy Taffy. If you drink Dots, whoa, if you eat Dots voluntarily, remove me from anything that you have me on. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, your contacts. I don't want to speak to you. Thank you.
You
It's
don't want to
Laffy
speak to
Taffy.
my mom?
No.
You
That's
know.
why I removed Anne's contact in my phone.
Damn, that's
Being
crazy. My mom
associated
fucks
with
with
Dots
dots.
people.
But I'm also gonna go Laffy Taffy.
Yeah.
I don't feel as strongly as you do.
I'm pretty
However,
strong about it, yeah. Okay.
you get your movie.
So editing Cody here. This seems to be an all too regular occurrence, but whatever. So the audio got messed up here. So basically, what I was saying was banana Laffy Taffies are the only ones that are unacceptable and nobody should eat them. And then we also have I got Monster House for the movie. If you cared, I don't know if you did. So okay, bye.
I got
You get the
Twitches.
same Twitches.
Yeah.
Ew. I got a beautiful movie and you got Twitches.
Yeah. But
All right. So
hey, it's on Disney Plus. For those of you that want to watch.
that's not a hype. Yeah. All right. So let's get into a short, like a nice little short segment. How was your week, William?
It's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I did well this week mentally. I had some schoolwork that took up a good portion of my day yesterday and today. However, I've finished all of it. So we're in the clear.
That's tight.
Outside of that, I haven't really done much again. I mean, no, another weekend spent with Jenna, which was a ton of fun. We went to the drive-ins and we saw Friday the 13th and Scream. Friday the 13th, that movie sucks, dude. There's no fucking plot. Like,
come on.
No, that movie sucks.
The whole thing is
Okay. Spoiler alert for anyone who cares. I'm going to spoil the plot of this movie. There isn't one. There is no fucking plot. People just die. There's nothing going on.
That's the entire point.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's not interesting.
It is the building blocks for which all horror movies have kind of been built on, in my assessment.
Yeah, and it was shit. So that's my take on Friday the 13th. Not good. First does not mean best.
Mm-hmm.
And then Scream, that's like one of Jenna's favorite movies ever.
Yep.
I was a big fan of that. I thought that was a very cool concept. I won't spoil that one because that movie's good. So I won't spoil it if you haven't seen it. One. But
yeah, is that all for
outside of that? Yeah, I mean, I watched some football on Sunday, and that's a classic. Lost my 2 fantasy games. That was fucking obnoxious. Not to get. One day we'll get on a rabbit hole about fantasy. Not today.
Yeah. So
you tell me about your week.
Yeah. So my week was a mixed bag because I got my voting done. Everybody vote, please. Please, God, please vote. So, and then,
100%.
It's been really rainy and shitty. And I had one of those days where it kind of felt like the walls were closing in, that sort of thing. So, I had to dig myself out of that hole sort of, all day. And it was, hold on. So basically what dug me out of that hole was, I started writing down what I was upset about in my notes, which helps a lot. I know some people
getting shit out
just
feels good.
Yeah, so I kind of just did that, and then I watched a movie to take my mind off it. I watched Princess Mononoke, this Studio Ghibli movie that I'm sure a lot of people that listen would know because it's a pretty fairly known movie, whatever. And that movie's beautiful, and it's also horrific, and it's lovely. So that made me feel better, and I've started getting to sleep earlier because I was going on a streak going 2 a.m. getting to sleep and waking up at 8 a.m. because I always wake up at 8 a.m. And that was not...
That's fucking... You're insane, by the way.
Yeah, I was not feeling very cash money. I was not feeling very good. It was really eating into me being able to get stuff done in the morning because between things... people start being awake at 10ish, and I want to be awake before other people are awake because I want to do things by myself. Because I want to do things by myself, and I get distracted. I get too into my phone and stuff like that, and I get too frantic about things. And knowing that about myself, I removed all of the notifications from my iPad, and I've removed a lot of the notifications from my phone, so that when I'm on my iPad and I'm drawing, nothing bothers me. No texts come through. Nothing happens. The only thing that happens is if sometimes I look at my phone and I put my phone on Do Not Disturb so I can get some art done or take a class or do whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
And that's a huge motivator to get out of bed as well. Especially on days when there's nothing to do, sort of thing. So yeah, it's all that stuff. Yeah, and it was also fucking with my eating schedule too, because for a while since I was going to bed late and waking up late, I was eating once a day aside from dinner, and that was not good. So yeah, back on the regular, my dude. That's what I like to see in myself. So I'm pumped
back
about that.
Functioning as a normal being in society, which I don't do. So that's not... When I say is if you weren't at one point, no hate, I don't.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm on an upswing and we're feeling good in general. So
Same.
Yeah. So all right, I'm gonna take the wig off because I am sweating balls. So enjoy my messy hair for the rest of the podcast, video watchers. But so okay.
Plug time, real quick.
Plug time.
If you are not following the Instagram, follow the fucking Instagram.
We post clips, boy.
Yeah. You want a preview of this podcast before you listen to it? Yeah. Follow Code Will Pod on Instagram. You want a preview of next week's podcast? You got to follow Code Will Pod. You want to get in on the polls?
Yep.
You want to maybe next year choose Cody's outfit for Halloween? You gotta follow Code Will Pod on Instagram. You want to take part in the polls.
Choosing a lot of things I do.
You want to be a part of a Q&A. You want to give us stories to tell.
Yep.
You gotta follow the fucking Instagram. If you want to be a part of this community, to really fully be a part, you have to follow the Instagram, and we would love to have you there.
You know what? Let me talk to him, Will. If you're not following the Instagram, then I want you to stop listening. I want you to pause. Actually, don't pause. Just take it while I'm talking. Go over to Instagram, type in Code Will, or just go to one of our profiles. I'm sure it'll be linked in our bios or something, and then find it and follow it, and we'll wait here. Okay, you done? All right, thank you.
You're done? Okay, sweet.
Okay, thank you. So okay, I have a question. So are there some like specific Halloween like stories that you have that are either like horror stories or like just general fun times that you've had during Halloween, either growing up or recently? Oh, you know what? What does your family have any Halloween traditions? Is that a thing in your house?
No.
No, yeah, no. I feel like that's a thing that should happen more often. I feel like Halloween should more often be like a family event, but I don't think a lot of families really make it out to be what it could be.
Yeah, I am also right now. I'm going to remove the mask from around me. We have it's uncomfortable. So
yeah.
One last. I am inevitable. But oh, I lost an AirPod. Ooh. Okay, got some of my dust in my hand from my floor. Gotta vacuum. Anyways, moving on from my gross room. Forget I'm a 20-year-old college student. I'm male. I don't give a fuck. It is what it is. But
Oh, you know what? How scared of you when you were young about like when you hear those horror stories about kids having their Halloween candy like poisoned or whatever, or like something nasty being in the wrappers. I remember my parents would like frantically check over the candy that I got for like stuff like that, but I don't know. Like if somebody put something in your candy, you just picked the wrong card, man. Like you just got boned. I don't know what to tell you.
I'll tell you this. I think we've gone over this before. I have OCD, like actual OCD, not like I like. By the way, this is going to be a very quick side rant. If you like things neat and organized, and you say, "Oh, I'm so OCD," fuck you, so hard, fuck you.
There's a spectrum for mental illness, William. There's a spectrum.
No.
Like, well,
Yeah,
there's
there
some
is.
people that could be on a lower spectrum of like actual OCD that compulsively do organize things like that.
No, but I'm not talking about the people who do it with compulsions. I'm talking about the people who they're like, "Oh, I need to have my room clean. I'm so OCD." No, you're not. You like things neat like a lot of people do. Obviously, trust me, I'm not going to fucking mental illness shame against anybody.
Yeah.
I know that there are levels to everything. But and I know that there is a spectrum of OCD that is about like cleanliness and organization and things like that. But unless it affects you on a day-to-day basis and causes you distress if your things are not organized, you do not have OCD.
So your
just prefer things organized.
So your gripe is with people that claim but actually are not part of the club.
Yes. Dude, I have a massive problem with that. I can save that for another episode because I actually think those people are fucking awful. They fucking suck so bad because you have no fucking clue what it's like.
Okay. Do you think some of that frustration comes from like a sense of them trivializing like a mental illness like that, or
Yes.
is it? Yeah. Okay.
It comes from that, and
sense.
because people take you less seriously because they assume you're just making, because people like that make the problem less serious. So then it's annoying.
100%.
Right.
Yeah.
You want to get me going. Just start saying you have a mental illness when you don't. Good fucking Lord. I could talk for hours about that.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And I think it's funny because it's super enlightening when there's people who are going through bouts of mental illness to like talk about their real life experiences, because um sometimes folks that like don't know they're battling something can find it out by hearing somebody else talk about it, because it's just their day-to-day lives. They have no idea. Like, was there a certain thing that kind of led you down the path of self-discovery in that way, where you were like, okay, these I don't want to say these behaviors are not normal, but these behaviors are
No, they're not
invasive.
though.
Yeah. Well,
They're
but
not normal. Like,
yeah, but I'm saying they happen, and I don't want to like.
well, I guess they're normal for me. So I know what you're saying.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically.
Well, so what mine was with the whole relationship stuff, like we talked about in that one episode, and that has sparked me to go to therapy. And then through therapy, though, I have discovered behaviors that I've been doing my whole life that are also fall under that category that I never even like would have considered that, because I was just like, oh, this is me. These are the things this is how I live my life. But after talking to someone else about it, and after just, realizing like those things aren't normal for everybody. So I've discovered that through having such a like potent thing in my life with OCD. And then I've gone back and kind of figured out like, oh, wow, I do this. That is, people don't do that. I do that. So I guess in that way, yes, to answer that question.
Yeah, that makes sense. I know. So over time, like when I would like do therapy and counseling, like I didn't necessarily, especially because I did it mostly when I was a kid, because God knows I can't do it now because the American healthcare system is a doozy. But that aside, um, like I know I would on car rides, I still do it. It's like this weird like I only explain this to people that like I'm close with. So I don't know, it's just odd. So like I pretend that with my feet, like they're extending out to the sides of the road, right? Figuratively, and I have to bounce them over the plow poles or whatever, those little poles in the road.
Yeah.
I have to jump them, and I have to like make sure it's even on both sides, that they both go over the same amount of things. Or I'll also do that with oncoming traffic. Like I'll just like hop over all of the cars there. And it's just like a game I would play with myself, because like I mentioned with me doing my mom's paper route with her for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
There was just so many long car rides, and I had nothing to do. So I would just do that, and it would prevent me from just sitting there and like being bored the entire time. And I never understood that was like kind of a thing that I developed because I was just, you know what I mean? Like it was kind of a coping mechanism for being just so upset that I had to be on these car rides and so bored.
Yeah.
Are there any like coping mechanisms that you found, I mean, specifically with like mental illness, that you've done over the years?
I think really I kind of learned coping skills through therapy. So I kind of only developing them now. And for me, it's a lot of like,
I shouldn't say coping skills. I should say, I mean, maybe they are coping skills, but I'm saying like uh, atypical behaviors that you would exhibit because of this thing that like you notice later on were atypical. You know what I mean?
as in like, even like we talking compulsions, like I do plenty of things that.
Yeah, like compulsions and stuff like that.
Yeah, so ever since like I started wanting to lose a little bit of weight, which was years ago, like 14, which I've done more than once. I have lost weight.
Yeah.
But so ever since then, obviously it's normal to like count calories. Like that's a normal thing to do.
Yep.
When you're because you're trying to keep track of yourself, you actually should do it. But I will go, which I've actually been working on the last couple weeks, and I really haven't been doing it. I will go to the ends of the fucking earth to figure out how many calories in something. Like if I order pizza from a place that doesn't have nutrition information, I will have to look up no matter what. Like even if I already know roughly how many calories are in it, I have to look it up to know roughly how many there can be. And then I do the math like for what I've eaten in that day, like 10 times to make sure I got it right, which is not normal. People don't do that.
Yeah, it's funny because now that you say that, I've noticed in the past you have been very conscientious about the calorie thing, and I always thought of it as kind of a misnomer. I was like, oh, okay, well, he's just conscientious about that, whatever. Like, and I didn't really think about it in that context. You know what I mean? I didn't know that that was something that bothered you.
Yeah, so that's something that like I think about that all day. It's actually like really annoying. Like I'll be I'll have already eaten and I'll be like planning out my next meal, and I'll be like, well, I can't eat this because whatever, and then I'll be doing research being like, well, I want to eat this, how many calories is this okay? Which it just doesn't, like I said, counting calories is normal. Obsessing over it and continuously looking it up, even if or continuously doing the math, even if you already you've done it right, that's not normal.
Yeah.
Speaking of doing math, something, how everyone kind of, you're like, oh, you're taking you're doing a math homework, and it's it's like 4 + 2, and you're like, I'll put it in the calculator just to make sure it's 6. I do that like 3 or 4 times.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I see what you mean now. Yeah.
So, which is also like most people are able to be like, yep, got that right the first time.
Yep.
And I'm like, well, maybe I didn't. We'll just double check twice.
Maybe the calculator is lying to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'll cut this part, but I know that in my family, ADD and ADHD are very prevalent. And I heard recently, I was listening to the Sad Boys podcast with Jarvis Johnson and Jordan. I do not remember his last name, but it's a really good podcast. And in some
not
ways,
as good as this one.
Yes, that's fact. And in some ways, they've inspired some of the stuff we do on this podcast, where we talk about what we're going through a little bit. And they were talking about their struggles with ADD and ADHD. And it was one of those conversations that's like illuminating, because they were talking about a lot of things that they kind of deal with in their day-to-day. Like Jarvis was talking about, pardon me, he was talking about his extreme tendency to never think about what he's saying before he says it, and just go at 100 miles a minute. And that's this guy. And I'm not gonna sit here and self-diagnose. I'm not gonna be my own doctor or whatever. But I just thought that was interesting, and him talking about how it's kind of a blessing and a curse, where it's great because the thing is, it's almost like you're playing a game, right? So when my thoughts are way ahead of my mouth, if I string together a really good sentence that I feel like I really hit home on, like it feels amazing. But there's a lot of times that I'll end up saying something that I didn't mean to say, or phrasing something in a very unintentional and very unfiltered kind of way. And that ends up having a lot of like negative repercussions. And with that, I also tend to forget things a lot. I run into this problem all the time, where I don't know how your memory is, but I like will run into things all the time. Maybe it's just me not paying attention enough, where I'll be in a conversation with somebody. I'll be like, did we talk about this before? And they'll be like, nope, must have been, like it would happen. It has happened with like girlfriends before, and they're like, nope, it must be your other girlfriend. I'm like, sick, awesome, pumped that I did that. I confuse conversations a lot. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm distracted the entire time and I'm never like kind of present in that moment. Um, but yeah, that's another thing that they were talking about. So, um,
To
if you
answer
have
your
extra
question,
time, yeah, go ahead.
just real quick, the question that got us here, yes, I did
Yeah.
worry about people poisoning my candy. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
To answer that question.
I totally forgot what got us here. Yeah, yeah. So what precautions did your parents take with the whole candy situation?
I think my parents kind of just would like look through it, especially when I was younger. But then as I got older, they kind of trusted me, I think,
Yeah.
to look because I think they knew that there was no chance I would eat anything that was questionable.
Yeah.
So, especially like,
Yeah, dude, especially
and they
you.
never, yeah. uh, Dude, for people who, whether or not you put a razor in it, for people who give out apples on Halloween, fuck off. Fuck off.
Yeah. I'm a big health food, eat apples every day, eat fruits, but man, come on. This isn't your time to make a stand. It's candy day. Come on.
Yeah, it's not Apple Day.
Oh,
If
raisins? Oh, okay. I should tell this story. So there's actually this one time, right? I was I don't know, it was either freshman year or eighth grade. I know I was like getting to the age where I was definitely too old to be trick-or-treating. I'll just say eighth grade, right? So I was walking around near my school, and I was walking with a group of friends, and we saw that there was, you know how people will leave like bowls and stuff out on Halloween,
yeah,
candy. So we saw that there was stuff out in this guy's front porch. His light was on, all the whole nine, and up on the porch was a like a package of unopened, like an unopened package of juice boxes, like Mott's for Tots juice boxes, right?
Mhm.
And so we were like, okay, this is a weird thing. Maybe nobody's come by yet. It was early in the night. And we were like, okay, so it seems to be like a take one and go sort of situation. And so we all took juice boxes, and then we were leaving just to like hear a door open, and this man was coming out of the garage with a bowl of candy, this old man. And we were like, oh my god. We froze, and then we're kind of too embarrassed to really return, so we just ran. We ran away with this man's juice. I don't know what purpose he had for the juice, but I've never had a guiltier sip of one of those juices in my life. I felt
I feel
terrible.
you.
Were
That
you
is a tough
ever?
look.
Yeah, were you ever the one to go to like a bowl of candy and take a bunch of it?
No, I'm not an asshole.
Oh my god, yo! If you, this is another one of those things where like if you did this, you're probably in jail now, because you can't just let things be nice for other people. Why can't you just take one candy and fucking leave, bro?
Yeah, it's just like for people who would like empty the bowl into their bag, I cannot stress this enough. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yep, absolutely. We are anti bowl stealers. And like the worst thing is to be behind bowl stealers, because I like when I was younger, it would always be older kids that were doing that because they figured out the system and whatever. And
Oh, I'm a cool kid. I'm older. Follow, do what I do.
the thing about the bowl is like that's somebody that's trusting like the good in people. That is trusting people to self-police, and that they won't have to worry about somebody stealing all of their candy one night. And I hope that I'm not friends with any candy thieves, because morally I don't know if I can co-sign that behavior, quite
Well,
frankly.
we know this podcast is anti bowl stealing on Halloween. So Halloween is coming up, kids. If you're going trick or treating, which I'm gonna be honest, our demographic is not children. So I
I
really
really
hope no
hope
one
you're not
listening. Yeah. What's the age, by the way, that you should stop for you? Like, what do you think is the age?
Oh, it's 13. 13's the last. 13, 14's the last year.
I agree.
Yeah.
On board with that. I think the last year I trick or treated was 2013. So
yeah,
I was 13 years old.
yeah, exactly. It's the thing is, it feels weird to trick or treat past that age because if you're like 14 years old, you're getting like, I don't know. I feel like the costumes really give it away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you see like these little kids walking around. Like there's a little girl that's Elsa, and then there's a kid that's Woody. You know what I mean? And then there's all of a sudden this like grown man.
Not me. I
Almost.
could have pulled it off.
Okay. Okay. Like
There are
the proportions would have
there
given
are
it off.
seventh graders that are taller than me.
Yeah, there's seventh graders that are taller than me too. I know how it feels. Like sometimes you're just like, damn, how are you built this different?
Yeah,
But
no, I'm the one who's built different. But
yeah. Do you have what were your like favorite Halloween costumes growing up? Do you have a couple?
dude, I always went sports.
You always went sports.
Always. Yeah, dude, I think the only time I wasn't like a sports thing is when I didn't even pick my own Halloween costume and I was like a firefighter. Which I was like 3 or 4. Crazy thing, that costume fits Hayden. The top of that firefighter jacket from when I was like 4, 5 years old.
Yeah.
Fit him.
Fit a tall adult man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I was always like some sort of fan, like a Patriots fan or like some sort of player or something. I always did some bullshit like that. That's because I have an unhealthy obsession with sports and didn't have any other interests as a kid.
Yeah.
But I do now. So
yeah. So for Halloween costumes, so we have this Halloween costume. It's a Winnie the Pooh costume that was passed down from me. So it's a toddler one, right? So it's just big enough for obviously a wee little baby. And there is a picture of all of us in a stroller wearing that costume. And it made it all the way down from me, who is 12 years older than the youngest, all the way down to the youngest, which is fantastic. So I'm very happy about that. And then other than that, I did the zombie costume for a couple years during like the huge like zombie years or whatever. And then it was always like switching between doing like samurai and then doing superhero. I was always partial superhero wise to Superman and Flash. But I would say Flash because Superman is kind of a lame pick. Superman's lame.
DC is lame.
Yeah, that's
the only thing that comes from DC that is cool is Joker, in my opinion.
Hold on. Let me look at the DC roster. Let me see if I can prove you wrong.
Batman is just rich. Like that.
Okay, so Batman's cool, but Batman
is a human being, normal person. Like I know Joker is too, but the Joker is epic as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, so the Green Lantern is one of the lamest superheroes, or at least concept-wise, to ever exist, I think.
Yeah, they make fun of it in the Deadpool movie. Is it Ryan Reynolds who plays?
Yes.
Yeah. So they make Green Lantern because he played Green Lantern, and they make Green Lantern jokes in the Deadpool movies about how bad that movie was.
I want to see if you recognize any of these, right? So I'm looking at the top 100 DC characters. I'm just going to go through
play a quick game.
10 of them. Ready?
Play a quick game. We'll see how many of these DC characters do I recognize. The top 10. That's the game.
All right. So Green Lantern.
Yes.
Batman.
Yes.
Dick Grayson.
No.
I have no idea.
No,
Cyclone.
No.
Cyclone.
No.
Superman.
Yes.
I would hope so. Lex Luthor.
Yes.
Okay. Joker.
Yes.
Tim Drake.
No, these are just
Who
like
is
accountants.
Tim Drake? Who's Tim Drake?
They're dudes who work 9 to 5s.
Are you ready for another one? Damian Wayne.
No. No. I know Damon Wayne.
How about,
like the actor.
Yeah, how about Kyle Rayner?
What the fuck are these?
So that's another extension of the Green Lantern fame. Damian Wayne looks like a Walmart Robin. Tim Drake looks like almost like a colonial sidekick to Robin, which doesn't make any sense. And then what's another one you missed? Cyclone. I feel like Cyclone is one that we should probably know because I've heard that name a good amount. She looks like a witch with a little tornado on her chest. And then there's Dick Grayson, which is another Gotham one, which maybe I'll throw it up on the screen on the YouTubes, but
not aware of who that is.
No, I have no idea who that is. I couldn't even give you like a rough estimation on who that is.
Any superhero or any character that has a fucking name, like that's what they're known by, is a fucking loser.
You know what? That's not. Yeah. They couldn't even take the time to give these people proper superhero names. So now let's do a comparison, right? You're gonna know all of these. Iron Man, Thor, Captain Marvel, Spider-Man, Captain America, Hulk, Wolverine, Doctor Strange, Black Panther. Need I continue? I shan't, because I don't care to. And if there's anybody that's going to argue that DC has the better roster, then I don't quite care. I do want to say something though. I want to we made some pretty strong I've actually kind of come around on astrology just a little bit. I'm not someone that's like going to start doing like the horoscope and the signs and whatever, all that stuff. But I think I take it too literally, where I assume everyone that participates in it takes it seriously. And I did not realize the large faction of people who in fact do it wholeheartedly knowing it means nothing and they're just doing it for fun. So yeah, I don't know, that less harsh on that, I guess. Now I've grown over the last 2-3 weeks. I don't know when that podcast was. Man, we're gonna have a lot of stuff that like we're gonna
that was like maybe 2 months ago, I think.
Oh my,
we've been doing this.
We have been doing this podcast thing for a while. Wow.
We've been podcasting.
Podcast game?
We've been podcasting. We're
going to get a sponsorship from MeUndies soon. We might as well.
Give me the SeatGeek.
Give me the SeatGeek. Dude, the SeatGeek.
What would our... Okay. Here's the thing. When we get sponsorships, because we will at some point, because this podcast will grow, you will tell people about it, we will tell people about it, it will grow. When we get codes, is the code going to be code Will, or is it going to be code Will?
Oh, it's always going to be code Will. It has to be. It's just going to be Will for the codes.
Right? Like, that's
because
fucking
it's in the
sick.
Name, dude. It's in the name, man. We made it.
My name is going to be a discount for people somewhere.
Yep. And my name is going to be implying that your name is a discount code for something.
I fucking made it at that point. Let's get that cracking. SeatGeek, MeUndies,
hit us up.
HelloFresh,
Manscaped,
all of that.
All of them. All of the classic. Yeah. We want like a Malcolm Gladwell amount of like Brinks truck money.
Yeah.
To sponsor on this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
You think that that might do it for this Halloween special?
Yeah, that's golden. I think we got some good stuff, and I'm happy with it.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Awesome possum, dude.
Dude, the pod is always fun.
The pod is always a good time.
If you've made it this far, I'm gonna show something out there. If you've made it this far on the podcast, and you, over the next week before the next podcast is recorded, so we record on Wednesdays. So if before next Wednesday evening, you give me proof that you got someone to follow our Instagram, I will personally shout you out at the beginning of the next episode.
Let's go. That's a great idea.
So if you DM us proof, and for every person that you get to follow the Instagram and send proof of, I will say your name that many times. So if you want to, if you get 30 people to follow the podcast, I will be tongue-tied at the end of having to say your name that many times in a row.
Yep, you will be podcast lore forever.
If enough of you get this done, right?
Yep.
The whole podcast will be me saying people's names.
I would, you know what? We'd make it a separate podcast at that point. It would just be Will saying people's names.
Yeah.
So, just an entire podcast.
If you want an extra episode, tell people to follow the podcast on Instagram at CodeWillPod.
Yep.
We need proof as well.
Will's Sweet Pipes. Just doing.
So.
All right. Awesome.
I think that will wrap this up, baby. First Halloween special.
Let's go. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Code Will Pod. I am Cody. Hasta la pasta, my friends. We will see you later.
Peace.